Hi, you guys. Top of the morning. I hope everybody is enjoying their weekend. I just got out of work a little bit ago and just got home. I am kidless, but not for long. My sister's actually visiting in town, so I'm going to go pick up my kids from their dads and take them over to my parents so they can visit. We can all visit together for a little while, and they get to visit with their aunt and their nephew, so that'll be a good time. How was everybody's Valentine's Day? Sorry, I keep staring at it's like my face gets so greasy in a matter of minutes. I don't know what's going on. It's like I work a few hours at work and I come home and it looks like I put coconut oil all over my face. So, how's everyone's Valentine's Day? Mine was great. Got to go to the movies. It was a lot of fun. And my lover boy let me know that my Valentine's gift, he did give me a cute little gift, and then he said, now there's something else that's coming in the mail. So I was waiting on that, right? Well, it came today. Yep. These came today. These leggings with his face all over them. Happy Valentine's Day to me. Never gonna forget that handsome face. Get to wear them everywhere. Can't wait. Gotta love a guy with a great sense of humor, right? Love him to pieces. So that was a great time. Oh, I'm losing you. So I'm hopping on because it's been a really long time. And over the last couple weeks, Jesse and I are both divorced, and we have had lots of, fun things that come about when you're divorced and you have other people in your lives and stuff too. And one thing I wanted to talk about today is how we can join lives when you still have children with your exes and your partners now, and how different it is. I know for myself, it took me a really long time to adapt to the fact that my ex-husband has a life and needs to go build a life outside of me and our children. And to be honest with you, I think it was easier for me to adapt to that and understand and come to a realization that that's how life is going to be because I had Jesse. And Jesse also being divorced and has kids. And so I got to really see both sides of the situation. And it is very different, very different. But it is the way that it is now. And so my ex-husband doesn't live far. He just lives around the corner. But he was in a previous relationship that took him, a little further away. And whether you're around the corner or far away or not, either way, at a drop of a hat, if my kids said, hey, I want to go spend time with Dad, I would never be the one to say no. So, yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, give him a call, even if it wasn't your scheduled day on paper, right? As long as he's available, sure, of course, you can go over there. But if Dad has plans, how do you approach that situation? In the beginning, of course, I was really upset and I was angry because I expected that no matter what you're doing, you should just drop everything and you should be there for your kids because I'm here in and out each day, all the time, and, they just get to see you sporadically, and no matter what you're doing, you should put them first, right? And I was angry about it and I was upset, and that's where I started. And I built a lot of resentment, and I thought, well, as a mother, no matter what I was doing, I would just stop what I was doing and put my kids first. And we do, right? And he does too. But at the same time, just like I stayed in our home with our children, and my life, although very different now, a lot of the aspects of my life stayed the same. I still had the home that we lived in. He's going out and he's rebuilding a new home and rebuilding a new lifestyle, and meeting new people, and it's taking him different places. And he has scheduled days that he has the kids, and the days that he doesn't have the kids, he's entitled to make those plans. He's entitled to take a trip and go somewhere. He's entitled to do all of those things. And it took me a while to really learn that. And again, having Jesse on this side too made me respect it a little bit quicker and maybe open up to the idea that that's how it's going to be. it's just when I was the one that had to console my child when their dad wasn't available or right there in the moment like they wanted them to be, it was hard on me. And I had to learn, and my children also have to learn, that life is a little bit different. Dad doesn't live in this home anymore, and it is going to be that you're going to see him on his scheduled days, and if he's available on those other days, he'll be sure, to have you over or take you and do something fun. But Dad can't be available at the drop of a hat, or when you're with Dad and, Mom has her time alone, Mom can't be available at a drop of a hat. So that's a learning process for sure. And if you live further away, that makes for even more difficulty. With my ex being around the corner, it's easier to say, yeah, sure, give him a call, see if you can go over for a couple hours. For some of you, that might be he lives hours away, right? And we meet halfway every time the kids want to see each other. And so that stress and that strain as a parent, whoever is the more of a full-time parent, and when your child is struggling, not being able to see the other parent, that is a stress that's not only for your kids, but for you too. And so sometimes we build that anger and resentment up against the other person, until we start to realize and come to the understanding that life is going to be different in all aspects, and we have to open ourselves up to that, or this is going to be really, really hard. Because we're demanding of something that just isn't so anymore. He used to come home every single night and come to this house, and my children, even if they didn't go play or hang out with him, he was a familiar face home every single night. And now that's not the case anymore. And as a parent, you start to feel guilty and you feel sad for them, and how are they coping and are they okay? And you want to fix that. And you should just expect that even though you're no longer in the house anymore, anytime our kids needs you, you need to be there, no matter what's going on, right? And if you don't show up into an event at school or a thing that's happening, well, shame on you. I can see both sides of that because I'm living both sides of that. Sometimes you're too far away, and sometimes you're meeting new people in your life, and you have to make time for them as well, and that's fair. That's totally fair. And I do think that communication is the hardest thing in any type of relationship, and if we can start understanding and communicating with an understanding of realistic expectations, then so many more things can happen in your relationship, even with an ex, right? Somebody that that you still need and have to work with in your life. And if you can just open up to the reality of what's real and what's the new expectation of what's going on, and an understanding that, yes, you do have to go start another life. And yes, that life might be 45 minutes, an hour, 2 hours away. That may be the case. Okay? And how are we going to do this? And what are we going to do? And explaining age appropriately to your children that, Dad is here and he's always here for a phone call, but he sees you on this day, and every other time that he has available, he'll make for you. Right? And you have to be able to have those conversations and have your kids to know that things just can't happen because they want it to in the moment. And typically in the beginning of the situation, you feel really guilty. And so you try to go above and beyond and bend over backwards to make sure that they don't handle any of, that they don't stress over any of the things going on. But this is the reality. Life is different. Things are changing. And you have to help them cope with the change instead of trying to mask all of that, because that's just going to make it worse. Okay? I know it's hard. It's really hard, especially with young kids, and to be honest with you, I only have young children. I don't know what it's like as teenagers or even, young adults, what it's like when I'm assuming, my kids live in the home. There's some kids who live outside of the home and still struggle that their parents are separated or not together anymore. Or they're going to 2 different Christmases instead of 1. I don't know what that's like yet, but I'd love to hear your sides of the story too, and some ideas of what other people go through to kind of cope with that as well. But if you're that person who's sitting back and feeling angry and bitter and resentful towards someone else who's no longer in the home, and you feel that no matter what it is that you want or when you want it, they should just be readily available for you, you have to start changing your mindset, because you're only letting yourself down. You're only letting yourself down. They are entitled to a new life. You guys have decided to separate, right? You've decided to separate. You've decided to no longer be together. And although you have children together, you already worked out how that's going to go. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, every other weekend, whatever it is that you're going to do, you work that out. And in the in-between times, right, you're entitled to your time, and he or she is entitled to their time as well. And we really, I think as soon as we start, relearning how this new life is going to work and respecting that other person who left the home has to go and completely rebuild a life. If I was moving out and I had to be the one to totally relocate, whether it was down the street or, a town away, it's starting all over again. It's starting all over again. And, and that's difficult. That takes some time and effort and rebuilding a new life as well. So, and for those of us who, are still here, I'm still in my same home, I'm still doing the same routine with my children, my life hasn't changed or uprooted as much as his did. And I need to be respectful of the fact that he needs time to rebuild that life. And then we need time together to have that mesh and start a new cycle of things. So for anybody else who's stressing or struggling with those things, open your mind up a little bit and see if that helps, and talking to your kids about it. Sorry, my dog's like a really loud drinker over there. Serious. She wants everyone to know she's thirsty. So I hope everybody's having a fabulous weekend. I'm going to go enjoy my family, and I'm going to wear these leggings over there. Say look bomb, obviously. So can't ever forget that face. I don't ever want to forget that face. He's too funny. You got to date someone with a great sense of humor, right? I should probably get him a pair too. Could be matching. So anyway, him in leggings, that's what makes me want to laugh. All right, I hope you guys have a fabulous day. I will talk to you all so soon. Bye-bye.